Hello and welcome to Vino Stitchers. My name is Robin, and as you can see, I'm missing my favorite sidekick, Katie. She was unable to join me tonight. Most of you know that if you've watched us for a while, that Katie lives about 2 hours south of me, and we are getting ready for, I guess, Snowmageddon, this huge snowstorm that's coming. So it really wasn't convenient for us to get together, and I wanted to share a stitching plan that I have. And I kind of talked to Katie about it, and she thought, yeah, just go ahead and share it because she thought it was a great idea. And I think it would be difficult for me to wait because, first of all, what I'm going to be talking about is going to be coming up here soon. I need to get started. And second of all, it would be difficult, I think, to add it into everything else that we do in a Flosstube. So what I'm talking about, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this, is stitching the Winter Olympics. This was kind of new to me. I heard about it. I believe they did a Stitch the Summer Olympics a few years ago when the Olympics were last. But the Nap Time Stitcher is the one who kind of comes up with this whole idea, puts it out, and then, you know, a lot of people are very interested in doing it. I keep seeing it popping up on my Instagram. And, you know, I didn't do Whip Go or any of that. I know a lot of people are doing that. And I thought this would be a way for me to do like a 3-week project and try to work on some of my whips and maybe add in a couple new starts. So that's why I decided, you know, I'm going to hop on and try this. So if you go to the Naptime Stitchers page, and I believe her name is Milano Portino, there it is. But the Naptime Stitcher is her name, and she's on Instagram. You can go and you can download this whole packet for free, and it gives you all the information about the Stitching the Winter Olympics, and it also gives you some games and tells you about the history of the Olympics, and there's a bunch of different things there, so it's really nice. So what I did is download the packet, and then I printed off the actual schedule of how this works. So I thought today what I would do is kind of explain to you how this works and show you my plans, because like what I did is found some of my whips that I do every month and kind of found spots that would work in here. And then I also added in like a couple new things that I had planned to start in February, found a spot that they would also work. I also, a couple of mine I was able to put on here twice because I know that I want to make a little more progress on them and they fit in 2 spots. So that's kind of how I'm doing it. Other people might start something new every day. But for me, I don't need to have that many starts because I have enough whips. For me, it was more like, let's get through some of my whips that I have. So, you know, I want to be able to make some progress on them and then maybe start my other couple new ones that I kind of had on my list. So to start out, like I said, go ahead and print this if you haven't. And then what I did is download it onto my iPad, and then I was able to type in all of these spots to write down what my plan is for each day. So it starts on February 6th, the opening ceremony, and it goes clear to the closing ceremonies on February 22nd. So each day she kind of gives you a prompt, and then what you do is find one of your stitches that would fit into that prompt, and then you can work on it however much you want to work on it. If you decide, oh, I'm just going to put 1 thread in it, or maybe it's an hour, or maybe it's the whole day when you have time. Whatever it is, whatever works for you, or you're just going to stitch it while you're watching the Olympics. That's probably my plan, because we always enjoy watching, especially the Winter Olympics. We really look forward to the, you know, the downhill skiing and the luge and all those. We really look forward to that. So my plan is what I'm going to be stitching. I will, you know, be working on my stitch while the Olympics is on. All right, so the first one is the opening ceremony, and she gives you the prompt, which is, it's a new start or something you started in 2026. So since this is January, I haven't had a lot of new starts yet, but I do have something that I'm planning on starting probably this weekend. And I can't even, the sad part is about this one, is I can't even really show it to you. What I can show you is this bag that I think I shared in the last Flosstube that Katie got for me. And inside this bag is the Primrose Sip and Stitch that they just released a couple weeks ago. It is, of course, I think they told everybody so that I'm not ruining anybody's secret, but it is a Valentine themed sip and stitch. And at this point, I don't believe they want people to share what's in it because some people are still receiving their boxes. So they want to keep it a secret. So I'm not able to show you that, but that is going to be for February 6th, my opening ceremony is stitching something that I started in 2026 is going to be this. And I'm going to pull out one of these Valentine patterns. And I have all the, well, I am waiting on, that's another reason I haven't started yet. The blush fabric that is called for this actually got lost in transit. And it's supposed to come tomorrow. So that's why I said I hope that maybe I'll start this weekend, but that on February 6th, when the Olympics start, that first night, this is what I will be working on. So unfortunately, I can't show you the stitch, but those of you who've received this sip and stitch, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you know, in our next Flosstube, I'll probably be able to share that. So for the next day, second day, February 7th, it's called the Parade of Nations. That's when they have the big parade with all of the different nations. You're to stitch something patriotic for a nation of your choice. So what I decided to do is I'm stitching another primrose. It is the American Celebration. I started this, I think, right after it was released, maybe back in October. And I think the plan was for you to stitch one of these per month. And if you did that by July 4th, you would have, you know, it completed and have time to frame it. That was a good plan. I liked it, but unfortunately I wasn't able to keep up with it because I have too many other things going on. But I have made quite a bit of progress, but I do need to get moving on it. So for that reason, I put it on here, and I think I actually put it on here twice in 2 different spots. So I'll show you my progress on that. Here it is. So I've done like 1, 2, 3, maybe like 3 rows of it. I am stitching it on, let me look here, 16 count dirty Zweigart with all the called for flosses. So I'm hoping that during the Olympics I can pull this out some night. It would actually be this night, February 7th, and work on my American Celebration. So that would be my second stitch for the Winter Olympics. All right, so then we go to February 8th, and the title of it is Winter Olympics, and the prompt for it is stitch something related to winter. So for that, I have in my little Chandell's snowman bag that my sister Susan got for me, another primrose. And I didn't even realize when I was making this up that I had so many primrose. Love primrose. As you can see, I do a lot of that. But I do have a lot of other things. It just so happened that when I set this up, those were the first ones that popped up. So I want to stitch something related to winter on February 8th, the Snowman 2025. I haven't had a chance to start it yet. I have everything ready here. I have the fabric, which is a 16 count Waxing Moon by Fabric Flair. I thought that would look good for my background. I have all my flosses, and I have the frame. So it is all ready to go. I really want to do this because I've previously done the Snowman 2023. I'll show you that real quick. This was the first one. Did that one, you know, a couple years ago. And I also did the Snowman 2024 last year. There it is, and it is on the frame made by More Men Made, which is the father of the Primrose Girls. And if you can see that, I added a little bit of bling on my snowflakes there. So I don't know if I might end up doing that on these snowflakes also. So we'll see. But so I really wanted to get a start on this, especially this winter, and actually hopefully finish it this winter so I can have it to put up with my other ones. So that is my stitch for February 8th, stitch something related to winter. Then we move on to February 9th, and the prompt, well, the title is Olympic Rings, and the prompt is stitch something with a floss or on a fabric and a color from the Olympic rings. And examples of that would be blue, yellow, black, green, or red. So what I decided to do for that, I'm going to stitch on a black fabric. This is another item that I have been working on. This has been for quite a while. It is the Home Wreath Swap. I'm going to be stitching on the black fabric. I have done, I believe, 8 of these wreaths. I just finished the Valentine one. I'll show you it here in a minute. And for on here, for my February 9th prompt, I want to work on my March wreath swap. And there is not a good picture of that. All I can show you is it is right here. And it is like some tulips. There's pinks and reds and greens and yellows. And it'll be stitched on, these are kind of the flosses here. Floss colors, but you know, like these pinks, these reds. So, and then there's, of course, the Queen Bee floss. So that is my, I want to make some more progress on that because I really want to get these wreath swaps done. I've had them going on for, you know, quite a while, over a year. Like I said, I think I've done 8 of them. I really want to get the other ones done. But here's the one that I just did for Valentine's Day. I'll hold it up if you're not familiar with what that looks like. So I can't really show you the whole thing, but here is my Valentine wreath swap. And what you do is this just changes out, pops off of there, and then you can change it out. So there's my Valentine one. I think it turned out so cute. I'm so happy I have it done. I previously had the snowman one up there, so I went ahead and popped my Valentine one on there. So it is all ready to go. So I'm really anxious now to get my March one done, is one that I need to do, the tulip one. And then the April one is some bunnies for Easter. So I really want to get that done too. So that is my February 9th prompt for the Olympic rings. And I will be stitching on a black fabric to meet that prompt. Then we go to February 10th, the next one down here, and it says Tina and Milo, which they are the mascots, which I didn't even know that. They're the mascots for the Winter Olympics. And for that prompt, it is stitch something with an animal. For that one, let's see here. Stitch something with an animal. I talked about this one, I think, in our last Flosstube. I'm wanting to do this one for a while. It is the Jardin Privé. Can't pronounce what the rest of that is, but there it is. I'm not even going to attempt that. But stitch something with an animal. I have lots of birds on there. So I am going to be stitching that up. And since my last Flosstube, I think I had originally planned on using that white peach tea, kind of like a yellowish fabric. Well, I had kind of started it, and I didn't like the way some of my flosses were going to be showing up on that yellow. So I decided to change. I'll keep that fabric for something else. Eventually I'll use it for something else. But I ended up ordering a new fabric, and it is called, let's see here. It is a 16 count blue hand-dyed Ada from Fabric Flair. And it looks like this, which what I really liked about this is it almost looks like a sky. So I could envision all of my birds being, even though their fabric is, you know, they used like a beige or cream tan. I just thought I was going to try doing mine with like a sky fabric. And I kind of looked at, I may need to change some of my blues out. There's not a ton of blue in it, but I know the white I think will show up really nice on it. And if I have to change, you know, some of my blues to something else, I could do that. But, so that is my February 10th for the mascot, stitch something with an animal. And I believe I put this one on again too, because I really wanted to get started on this and try to work on it every month if I could. And so far I have not kept up with that. All right, so then we go on to our second week of the Olympics. We are on to February 11th, and it says curling, which is one of the sports in the Olympics. And the floss is, or I'm sorry, the prompt is stitch something that you were encouraged, and then it says encouraged, sweep, to stitch by a friend or social media. So for that one, this was kind of an easy for me, one that was encouraged, that I was encouraged to do. It's not that one. It's this here. I see this particular pattern and some of the ones in the same family all over social media. Every time I see them, I want to do them. So it definitely was like one where I was encouraged to stitch it by social media. And it is the A Year at Hawk Run Hollow. If you follow us on Flosstube, you know I've been stitching this one for a while. And I just try to pull it out every month. And I made a little bit more progress on it, trying to get that first January block done. So there it is. And I am stitching it on, let's see, 28 count Ivory Zweigart. It's a Lugana. So making a little bit of progress on that. But when I saw that prompt of stitching something that you were encouraged to do by social media, I knew right away this was the one to do, because I see these Hawk Run Hollows all over. The Halloween one, just love them all, and definitely encouraged me to do that one. As soon as I went into a stitch shop one day and saw it there. I was like, I need to get all the things for that. All right, so then February 12th, the sport is short track speed skating, and the prompt is stitch something with a border or a row of something. And for that, I went back to my American Celebration, which you remember, I'm not going to pull, I don't need to pull it out again, but if you look at it, you can clearly see the rows. And I thought, there's another way that I can pull out that American Celebration because of the rows on it. So that's the second day that I'm going to be stitching on American Celebration. Like I said, that's kind of the way I wanted to do this, is try to make it work for my whips that I have, and also join in on the fun. All right, so February 13th, the prompt is, well, it's skeleton, and then the prompt is stitch something with a Halloween or fall theme. And this is another one of my monthly whips. So I will be stitching on my Praiseworthy Alliday Inn. There it is. And I am stitching it on 18 count Michelle from Grace Notes Fabric. This is what I have done on it. So I definitely need to get some progress in on that. So on the February 13th, I will be working on my Alliday Inn and hopefully making some more progress on that. So, you know, that's what, when I started thinking about this, I'm like, this is really going to be good for me to try to get some of my whips done, or, you know, get some, at least some time in on them, make some little bit of progress. All right, the next one is an exciting one. It is a new start I'm excited about. This is one that I had on my February-March list that I wanted to start. The February 14th, the sport is snowboarding, and the prompt is stitch something from your favorite designer. For me, I have many favorite designers, but recently have joined this lady's Patreon and love everything that I've seen, and everything that she does, in love with. And I actually had it as one of my goals this year that I was going to stitch at least one of her patterns, or hopefully more than one. But Teresa Kogut, I decided I'm going to join Teresa Kogut's Patreon, and something from my favorite designer. I want to stitch something by Teresa Kogut. So I pulled this pattern out because I got it last year, and I've been wanting to stitch this, and I thought, what a great time. I'm going to work on Coco's Garden. Just love, love, love this pattern. I think I bought it last year at Market and never got to it last year, of course, because by the time I got it, you know, it's pretty much Easter time. So I wanted to definitely pull it out this year. I'm not sure if I'll do the basket finish or what, but right now I just want to work on getting it done. And I love her patterns. I mean, it's all color inside, big, easy to read. I have planned to stitch that on, let me see if I wrote it down, where I wrote that down. All right, here it is. On 18 count Moonstone by Fiber on a Whim. So I want to take a look at that. I thought that looked like the perfect fabric. It's not showing up as well here, but it is kind of a greeny, kind of like that. It might be a little lighter than theirs is. But I did did kind of a floss toss and thought that it looked like a good fabric. So hopefully that will work out. That is my plan for that one. So I'm really excited. I got my flosses, and I actually ended up having to order you know, a bunch of, these are the only ones that I had. Ordered the other flosses, and they should be coming here later this week. So that is kind of an exciting one for me. Starting Coco's Garden. That'll be a fun night to look forward to. February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. I'm going to be starting Coco's Garden. So cool. Then February 15th, the sport is hockey. And the prompt is stitch a WIPCO project or something, or toward any other goal. So this is something that I've been working on that, again, it's definitely a goal that I have each month to work on it, to do some work on it. And I did some this past month. So I decided I'm going to add it into my rotation here. And it is my Happy Hearts sampler. You've seen that before. It's from Birds of a Feather. This is an anniversary stitch that I'm working on for my husband's and I's 40th wedding anniversary this year. I did do a little more work on it. So I started actually working on the words, which are busy hands make happy hearts. So I have that started. And so I will work on this on February 15th, working towards a goal. And that's what this is. I'm going to be working on towards a goal. That, if I did not say, is on Primrose, a fabric from Forbidden Fiber Co. And it is Lugana 28 count. And I love this fabric. Love this fabric. It's so pretty. It feels so nice. It's great to work with. So that's my February 15th project. February 16th, down to this one. The sport is Nordic combined. The prompt is stitch something that is part of a series. For that, I'm going to go back again and do my March wreath swap because, like I said, I want to try to get that done. So when March comes, hopefully I will have that to put up on my home sign that I just showed you. So some of these I tried to put in a couple times, so I made sure that I'm making progress on them. Okay, then we're on to our last week. The first prompt for February 17th is Olympic Village. Stitch something with a house or building. Again, I'm doing one that I had previously done. It is the Jardin Privé, and it says stitch something with a house. Well, I thought, why can't I use a birdhouse? There's 12 birdhouses on there. So I thought February 17th, stitch something with a house. I'm going to work on my birdhouse with Jardin Privé, the one that I showed you before with the blue fabric. So that'll be the second time I'll be picking that one up. So again, trying to make some progress on some of my whips. All right, February 18th, the prompt is biathlon, and it is stitch a piece of your choice to stay on target. So with that one, excuse me while I grab my stitching here. For that one, this is one again that I work on every month, and I actually just worked on this last month. I try to stitch on it around the 20th of the month, and it is my Sherry Stocking by Shepherd's Bush. And I will show you the progress I made on it. It is on 20 count raw natural linen. And this is the progress I've made on it. I am definitely making some progress. I would love to have this done for Christmas this year. So as you can see, I'm working on her dress. That's what I've been stitching right here. So I'm excited to start working on, get working on that one again. So I decided I'm going to add that one in because it's one that I try to at least touch one time a month to make some progress on. And it is all, I use the pearl cottons for that. So I have them on a ring. And I enjoy working on it. I kind of didn't want to put it away last night when I was working on it. Kind of wanted to just keep it out, keep working. So I'll be excited to get back to that one on February 18th. All right, then I go to February 19th. The sport is figure skating, and the prompt is stitch something with letters or numbers. For that one, I'm going to go back to my Happy Hearts, my anniversary stitch. It has lots of letters and numbers on there. And I thought another good way for me to make some progress on that stitch that I, try to get to every month. I'm going to try to get to it two times in February. Then I'm going to go to February 20th. The prompt is bobsled, and it is stitch something you want to stay on track to finish. That is my Snowman 2025 that I showed you. I have the 23, the 24. I really want to get that 25 done this winter. So I added it again to the rotation. And so some of these, like I said, I tried to put on there a couple times so I can make some progress. So Snowman 2025 for February 20th. February, hold on while I get a drink here. February 21st, another exciting day. It is the medal ceremony. And it says, stitch something with a flower or floral motif. This one I'm very excited about. I have done, this is kind of a series 2. I've done 2 in the series. This will be number 3. And I have number 4 on deck to do later this year. The one I'm talking about is Seasonal Courier Robin's Spring by Robin Pickens. And I've had this one for a while and really want to get to it. And the prompt was stitch something with a flower. There it is. I want to show you the one that I've done. This is the one I have out right now. The Cardinals Winter. I have it out and really want to get to this one. So I also have the other one is the Blackbird's Pumpkin. I think it's Blackbird's Pumpkin. That's for fall. So I really want to get to the spring and the summer one of this series. So with this one, I'm planning on stitching it on, just like I did the other one, on a 25 count potato. So I think that'll go well like the other ones did. And I have all of my flosses all ready to go. So I will be excited on February 21st. And, you know, I can start thinking spring. It'll be an exciting time to start working on this, I think. So I was excited when, you know, I had to go through my whips and figure out how they were going to work in this, but I'm really excited the way it worked out. And then the last one is February 22nd, the closing ceremonies. And the prompt is stitch something that you hope to finish in 2026. For that, I put American Celebration because I really want to get that done by July before the 250th celebration in July. So, of our America. So I put that one on again. I think that's the 3rd time I have that one on here. So I'm really hoping that through this Olympic, stitching the Winter Olympics, I can make some progress on things like American Celebration and, you know, my March wreath swap, some of these things that, you know, I don't always get to. So that's kind of the way I decided to do stitching the Winter Olympics. It might be different from what other people have because I wanted to put in some of my whips, but also I add in a couple new ones, and I'm excited about the new ones that I get to start. So 2 other things that I wanted to talk about before I leave. They're starting to talk about Nashville, which is very exciting this time of year when they start, you know, teasing us with all the new Nashville releases. But I've seen 2 new ornament clubs come out that I was kind of excited about. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do them yet or not, but I thought I'll share them since I'm going to be on here. The first one I saw was from Crazy Annie's Stitchin'. And she is releasing, they're called American Postcards. They're created, the designer is Cherry Blossoms. Crazy Annie's is just selling them, but the designer is Cherry Blossoms. It is an exclusive club, and it's made for all the patriotic lovers. If you know anything, you've heard Katie say 1,000 times that they always say I'm the patriotic lover. So when I saw these, I'm like, oh my gosh, how perfect. I just did the Christmas ornaments. This would be great to have 12 patriotic ornaments. The cool thing about this club is there's 12 charts. It runs February to January next year. They have charts. They have floss bundle that you can get. They have fabric. They have rickrack. And the cool thing is that they have these backing boards that you can order with them. Their plan is to release 4 for the first 4 months. Then there'll be another set of 4 that'll be different somehow in different shapes, 4 of those. And then for the last 4, there'll be 4 again that are different shape. So the first 4 have the same shape, the next 4 will have a different shape, and then the last 4. So there'll be 3 different designs that they're going to scatter throughout the year. And you can order those to go with your, or if you just want to order, you know, the pattern, I believe you can do that. They have it all broken down that you can go through and, you know, order if you want the rickrack, order if you want the floss, order if you want the backings. So I keep thinking about this one. I'm not 100% sure that I want to jump into another ornament because I have so many other things going, but it is the 250th celebration this year. I love patriotic, and I think these look adorable, and I love that you get the boards with it. So I'm probably going to end up signing up for it. I just keep holding off, but I think it's I'm kind of excited about it. I keep going back and looking at it. The other one that I was very excited about was Hands-On Design is releasing, it's called the Ornament Club. They're supposed to be putting more information out about this, but I can tell you what she said so far. It is the Hands-On Design Ornament Club. She will reveal one exclusive ornament each month. Each one is part of a collection that will unfold over time. In a few weeks, the club will go on her Patreon. She's starting a Patreon. I believe that's new this year. And you can choose whether you just want to collect the ornament or join her for a finishing journey each month. And it said more information will be rolling out soon on her social pages and in her newsletter. So if you want information, you can subscribe to her newsletter. So you can kind of see the first one, and then there's little teasers of some other ones. So it looks like they're not all going to be the same shape. And then, you know, it has that fancy trim with it, probably from Lady Dots. So really cool. Another really cool ornament club if you want to do some Christmas ornaments. I would love to do this one, but I just did the Tiny Modernist ornaments. So I'm leaning more towards doing the patriotic ones if I decide to do any at all. But I think this is a really cool option too that, you know, I could easily probably be talked into. So I just thought I would share that information with you because I thought it was pretty exciting and I keep looking at them. So that is all I have for today. I'm not going to, you know, go on and on about my other whips that I'm currently working on. Whenever, you know, in a week or a couple weeks here, Katie and I will get together and do a regular Flosstube. But for now, I wanted to jump on and talk to you about stitching the Winter Olympics, if you're not familiar with it, and talk to you about how I'm doing it and how I'm using my whips to, you know, try to make some progress on them. You know, you can do it. You can print it off and do it how it works for you. That's the cool thing about it. We can all do it the way we like to do it. So thank you for joining me. And I hope to see you again real soon with Katie. Bye-bye.